Okay, Giliard.
Hello from Tanzania. My name is Giliard Mkumbwa. I am serving as a manager for water systems completed by Rotary Club of Same in partnership with the Rotary Club of Ames and Rotary Foundation since the year 2014 to 2021. These projects are clearly listed on the screen by grant numbers, names, completion year, number of population served, and cost in US dollars. Number two, sustainability of the completed water projects. During implementation process, Rotary Club of Same ensured the following factors for sustainable systems: effective community assessment in the villages with the critical water needs to establish priorities, appropriate baseline survey to specific villages before construction for situational analysis, effective technical design, and community participation during construction process, effective training to the oversight water board and operators, impact assessment at 18 months after completion to measure community and environmental outcomes, impact assessment after 36 months to measure lasting outcomes, and continued follow-up for stabilization of the system through system data collection to establish timely operational status for the completed projects. Next, number C is about partnership in these projects. The global grants are completed in collaboration with the, it is the slide number one, yet in number one, partnership. On the issue of partnership, the global grants are completed in collaboration with the following development partners. Host sponsor is Rotary Club of Same, Tanzania, East Africa, District 9214, international sponsor, Rotary Club of Ames, Iowa, from USA, District number 60,000, and Rotary Foundation. But also another potential partner with the local contributors, which is RUWASA, Rural Water Supply Authority in Tanzania, and beneficiary communities. Next slide. Next slide. The cost of these projects is almost 1,113,000 US dollars and saved the total population of about 7,200. Impact from completed water systems. The following are the impacts of completed water systems in Same district. In real sense, these projects have transformed the communities based on the following categories. Number one, women empowerment, more family time in productive activities, new economic opportunities, engagement and participation in productive activities such as gardens, farming, livestock, and businesses. Number four, improved hygiene and sanitation practices, wash, toilets, grown trees, flowers, and vegetables are grown in communities. Number two is education status. As we see in the photos attached, school with the favorable learning environment. Number two, schools attendance for girls is up, and more boys in schools are attending schools appropriately. They are never going to head livestock. Number four, improved grades, or we experience higher academic performance in schools. And number four, optimum level of education and vocational skills. Next slide. We also experience impact on peace and harmony in families and villages. We have transparent water pricing or democratic decision and the freedom to expression on feelings on all issues related to water and sanitation. Number two, we experience less conflicts within the families and the whole community. But number three, we experience less time on water access to people, especially women and men. So there is instant meal in communities. Number four, in the issue of peace and harmony, we experience community which are brought together through workforce and accountability during construction processes to these projects. But also we have a component of community health. In these villages, we experience less waterborne diseases. Number two, food security, gardens and fruited trees are grown. Number three, personal hygiene. We experience high level of hygiene and sanitation in villages after construction of these projects. Number four, construction of better toilets in schools, but also in households. Number five, we experience that the community is transformed in the aspect of wash behavior. There is a behavior change to youth and adults in the communities at homes. The behavior has increased. Next slide. Next slide. But also in the aspect of development, we can see in these communities new construction of homes and businesses. We find now there are modern houses, but also modern toilets in the villages. We find job creation and sustainable income. So the general issue of livelihood is now very high. But also we find the nature of entrepreneurial spirits. For example, if you visit Kigogo and Masandare, you're going to find a number of women vending food and the other products along the streets. But also we find other businesses like concrete blocks making businesses, horticulture, vegetables and fruit. But also we find crushing stones and coarse aggregates for construction. On the question of environmental impact, we find number of trees, shade and fruit trees planted around the houses, but also we find control of soil erosion due to tree planting, but also we experience water management. We find that the women and men are trained on water management, how they can sustainably use, reuse water that is already used in cleanliness. It's like recycling. But also we experience flower gardens and fruits and improved hygiene and sanitation in the villages. As we find in the attached photos on the screen, we can find school children, but also a number of trees planted, but also vegetable and the fruit gardens along the houses. Next slide. This slide is displayed, it's as an evidence of how well designed and developed infrastructures in the villages. In the left side, we find a water point at Chanjaga Secondary School, but also at the beginning, at the middle of our slides here, we may find donors, international partners, and local partners who contributed to these projects. And we find the filtration systems, but also we find the storage tanks and filtration at Muhezi village. We find how the water sources, gravity water system at Muhezi is well constructed, but also we find cattle trough at the plain land of Same and Masandare. many of the community members are livestock keepers, so we don't have to separate people and their cattle because it's their culture. So the projects also accommodated the item of cattle trough. We see how now people enjoying taking their cattle to the troughs and feed instead of shifting to other areas to look for water. But also we see the storage tank at Masandare and the storage tank at Kigogo. So all these components were well constructed, were well designed and constructed by the host club, Rotary Club of Same, through excellent bidding, but also excellent supervision and management of these projects with a high impact and transformation in our communities. Thank you very much. You may welcome to visit Same district and enjoy visiting these projects and find wonderful changes and development in these communities. Thank you very much. I am welcoming you with a question.